Hello, everybody, and welcome to the FFC Show. My name is Thomas Harkin. Today, I am joined by Macauley Lowe, who is part of the commentary team for FFC. And today, we're going to do a Rhondda Rampage recap. So I'm going to hand it over to Macauley just to say hello. How's it going, Brad?
Hi everyone, my name is Macauley, professional Muay Thai fighter and Muay Thai coach at Olympus MMA. As Tom said, I'm also a commentator, one of the commentators for Flow.
Awesome. So we were just talking before we started, and we both just said we better start recording because otherwise we're gonna have a conversation about it all. So let's let's touch on let's touch on obviously on Rhondda Rampage 3 and what being your second one for commentary. What was this one like?
Yeah, definitely an experience for me. I had a little drink at this one. I don't think I'll do that again. But yeah, it was good, man. And you could see how much the show has progressed already, and obviously more things to come again. So
Yeah.
definitely going places.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you know yourself. We've said from the very beginning it was always about right. What can we do next? What's next? Though, like with our Tailor the Tapes, we added the green screen, and I've got a couple of ideas that I'm going to speak to our media team about for the next one, for like portraits of fighters and portraits of their team, and just so we kind of like you get that full day feeling, especially if you come as a fighter. And there's guys who come from like uh Jay from Way Muay Thai, who had unfortunately had to pull out in the last one because he had a hand injury from work, right? But he comes down from Somerset, and we've had like Leighton Nolan come down from Liverpool. So we want to make sure that we give all of the fighters that the full day's experience. Do you know what I mean? And that's next, that, and as you said, just what's going to keep coming, keep progressing, and keep going forward, isn't it?
Yeah, so obviously we had the new walkout stuff and
Yeah.
all the media stuff. Some of the guys looked a little bit awkward, but I think it's good for them as well because that's why I was drinking. I'm a little bit awkward with the media stuff as well. So it's nice to give them that early on and get them used to it early on so that by the time they're fighting pro level or they're taking the shin pads off and they feel comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah, and the other side is like we're in the sport now where you it, it's grown so much. It doesn't matter if it's boxing, K1 or Thai, like the comparison to what it was like 10 years ago to now, you get in these fighters who were, who were 10, 11, quite early in their journey. And, they've got such a massive following. And as you said, it's good to get people to get used to that because fighting and combat sports are becoming such a normal thing now where it's on every weekend and, you get shows all the time now. So it's starting to build a bit more popularity with people. And I think that having having that extra little bit of media stuff in the shows, it kind of gives that little bit extra for fighters as well, just because it gets their name out there as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely good for everyone involved.
And that's all it is, man. But one of the other ones was obviously bigger venue. Now you done Rhondda Rampage 2, and obviously now you just went straight in from number 2 into round number 3, and bigger venue, bigger crowd. What was the actually, before we go into that, the other side is we had two title fights. We had Jory, local boy, against Ash Williams, and then we also had Josh Embradura versus Brandon Bockway, one from Swansea, one from Cardiff. The atmosphere from the first fight until the end, in my opinion, was just electric. Like, and
Yeah.
even, and we had fighters from more, like, even though it was close, still an away fighter, so to say, and they're still bringing a decent crowd. Like Josh and Brandon, it was I could hear it in the changing rooms when I was warming Jory up. Awesome.
Yeah, all the fights were 50-50 and they all brought quite loud people, it was
Yeah,
really electric in the venue. People going crazy, man. And those title fights, they crazy
yeah,
stuff.
I
Really, really
know. And we will go into that.
yeah, yeah. I don't wanna get sidetracked, but
Oh, it's not like us, Mac, to get sidetracked. We don't never
not
do
at
that,
all.
really.
Not at
Never
all.
at all. And then the next point, and this one was more from my perspective, like from a promoter's perspective, same as Liam as well. It was like the the difference in the running of the day, and what I mean like is being in a bigger venue and everything has to be, the organization is key in it. Do you know what I mean? That's pretty much what it was. So it was like making sure the box is sorted, and we had the guys from Box turn up as well, which is amazing. You know, they come down and they were there just to make sure that if we needed any help with the tickets or if we needed any help with admission, you know, Box were there to help with that. Not just that, they caught some awesome footage. But then the other side then was, as we said, just making sure that everything, you know, bigger venue, there's more people, so you have to just make sure everything's running correctly, which, you know, it felt like it was a good one. So, but enough of that. So what we'll do now is we're going to jump into the fights, because this is the one thing that I'm really looking forward to. So we no particular order. So we'll start, even though they were first. So we got Mason Caswell from Giant versus Lucas Evans from the Dojo. Now, I watched this one on the repeat. I actually watched the first round in the on the event, and then I watched the rest on the repeat in the gym. So tell me what your perspective was from this one.
Just trying to remember the faces. I'm not really good with names of faces.
Mason was in white shorts with a red and Lucas was in the black shorts, I think.
This. Oh, bloody! I disappeared then.
First fight.
I believe this went like 10 punches unanswered at one point, if I'm recalling the right fight.
It was a really, really good display of combat striking from, technical and offensive striking from Mason.
It was. I remember it was the opening fight. I do apologize. I had a few drinks that night.
Nah, dude.
I don't remember now. But no, yeah, they were just not. Unfortunately for Lucas, he wasn't able to break Mason's rhythm. And once Mason got going, Lucas became a bit of a punch bag, unfortunately. And it does happen sometimes when you're against someone who's a little bit faster and the timing and rhythm's a little bit disrupting yours. It can be hard to get your shot off, and if you're not firing shots, you're not there to be a punch bag. So the ref's going to do what he's got to do, isn't he?
And Kai Kopp, be fair to Kai Kopp, he jumps in when it's needed. Like we watched it back, and you know he holds up to being a ref, isn't it? You know he knows when he needs to jump in, which is good. And to touch back on that fight, like one of the things that I noticed, and it was quite obvious, was Mason was fucking jacked. Like as soon as he got in the ring, you're like, whoa, for a 16-year-old.
He's one of Giant. He's obviously one of Tristan's. They are fit. Do you know what I mean? They don't mess around. They do train hard. So I've got them all on socials. I see how they train. So it's to be expected that gym is going to produce a high level of fighters moving forward.
Yeah, which is good. Now, one of the things I want to touch on with the dojo as well, that's the first, there are two boys on the card, and I'll be fair, they turned up to fight, they brought a good crowd with them, and, you know, we've already started speaking to them about the next one. Now, with Lucas, as you said, I think it was just a bit of couldn't break Mason's rhythm, which then obviously kind of threw, not going to say through the fight, but pushed the fight out of his reach a little bit, where, you know, because Lucas couldn't get going, as we said, you could see the difference between them in the striking, because obviously Lucas isn't throwing as much, you know. So
you've got to be
one a great fight again, you know, especially, and this is one of the things that we've done on number one and number two is, even though it's the first fight of the night, it was people were in there from the start, and then not just that, it was a great scrap again, like from two young lads to come out there. I think it was Mason was 1-0, I think, and Lucas was, I might be wrong, but I know that they were quite early within their combat careers and stuff, and they come out. I
believe Mason's been going quick fire. I think it may be Mason, or it may be one of the other guys from Giant. But some of them guys are fighting weekly, bro.
So I mean,
they're going quick fire.
You know, that's what it's about, then, isn't it? You know, you have these guys who do that, and they come out, and it's like Leighton Nolan. Like Leighton Nolan fights all the time. He's fought on number 2, and Leighton is exactly the same. He fights for titles all the time, and you have these guys who are just constantly turning it out, and you just see the progression with them, you know. And as you said, going forward, like Giant, you look forward to seeing the guys that they can produce, you know.
Definitely.
On to number 2, which was Thomas Bowen from PMA versus Josh Kitchen from the Way. Now, one of the things that I did see from this fight, which was really good, was they were both keen. Now, I know I from Apollo, Mitch has fought one of the boys from the Way Gym. We've not, and then Corn fought Billy Stewart from the Way Gym. So I've cornered against the Way twice, and they always turn up to have a go, and I will say that I be fair to Josh Kitchen, even though the decision went to Thomas. Josh Kitchen come up to fight, man, and it wasn't
everyone on that card was giving beans, bro. Like,
yeah,
they were all 50-50 hard fights, and everyone had to work.
Yeah, and that's what we try and bring as well, because you don't want to come down. It did happen, but you don't want to come down and just see, like, that no one turns up to fight. Like, that's what we want. We want them to. You don't want every fight to go decision, but you want to see everybody put on the best performance they possibly can, and that's what leads to most of the decisions, isn't it? Is when you have guys fighting at the best of their ability and showing what they actually made out of. And again, I think between these two, Thomas and Josh, I think this was another one, because Thomas, again, come out very strong, aggressive. Josh come out strong, aggressive. They were both making their debut, both on, like a tough fight for each other. And then not just that, then as well, a bit scrappy. I think it was like 2 or 3 low blows, I think, or one each, I think.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong again. I'll apologize if I've got this wrong, but did they have the open stance? It was Southpaw Orthodox, no?
Yes, I think this was the second fight. This one was second fight of the night. I think it was.
I believe it was, and typically it does happen when you have that open guard and you're trying to throw the inside leg kick from the rear. Yeah. It's got so far to go that if your opponent takes the smallest little step, you could miss.
And that's what happens.
One of them things, it does happen. It happens often when you've got Southpaw Orthodox open guard, which I would obviously know. I've had a few nut shots. Yeah, it can happen. It can happen.
So that again was another scrap. Now we want to bring both guys back. Tom, we've had PMA on the show before, and we've had the Way on the show before. So, like I said, we want to bring both of them back, because again, 2 great fighters. It's the same as Mason and Lucas. Like, 2 of them again. I think Liam has already started or already got an offer for one of them. So, we're going, trying to get them back as much as we can. Now, the next one, Logan Cole from Apollo Sports versus Kai Warner from the dojo in Merthyr. So I'm going to let you take the lead on this one, because otherwise I'm going to be biased as fuck.
Yeah, Logan, these are quite smaller lads, aren't they? So they tend to go, because it's not so much knockout power, but it's more point scoring. But these boys went for a bang. It was definitely back and forth, but I feel like Logan definitely controlled the ring a little bit more and was more. I don't want to use the word professional, because they were both very new. But definitely more clinical and accurate. Obviously, requires a lot of heart when fights are like that. And it's hard to say things, bro, because the whole card, everyone's the same. Everyone showed immense heart, immense skill. It just, you couldn't ask for a better fight night, to be honest. Yeah. Every fight was a war.
Yeah,
every fight was a war.
With the thing you said about the heart, right? Liam has said this now. Liam fought is Apollo, obviously, and he's the second the matchmaker and the second promoter of Rhondda Rampage. Now, Liam has said this when he fought himself. He was like, the heart, you're not going to beat this heart. You can take away, you could take his legs away, or it's the same as Logan Cole. Like Logan Cole said in, like, before we went out, he was like, look, he said, he's not going to beat me. Like, I'm going to keep going forward until you stop me. And that was one of the things that you've seen with Logan. Logan come off two, I'm not going to say bad losses, because, a fight's a fight, shit happens. But, like, he come off these 2 losses, he had time off, and then he come back, and in the first round, when he dropped Kai with that knee, not dropped him, but made him take the knee, and the 8 count, like, I thought to myself, I was like, right, do not blow your fucking gas now. Like, do not blow your wad, because that's when he does that.
You've just now you've said that, I can picture more of the fight now. I'm remembering more things. I do apologize, bro. I was so drunk on the night. Like, you need to remind me of these things. I should have watched it just before we done this. But yeah, I won't be drinking at the next one. But yeah, Logan, it was the knees, bro. It was definitely the knees. Obviously, in K1, the knees score slightly more than the punches and kicks, mainly because of the damage they do. And obviously, K1 is scored on aggression. Logan was marching Kai around the ring a little bit. And those knees were clearly showing an effect, and Kai wasn't able to send them back every time. So that's Logan then started to edge ahead in terms of dominance and points.
And from the corner, like, I could hear it. When Logan was landing the knees, I could hear Kai. Like, I could hear the wind getting taken out of him.
You can see it, bro. Like, when those hips dip, it's like, oh, that is.
Yeah.
You can see, you're like, oh, he didn't like that.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things that Logan made me laugh with, as soon as he comes up to you after the fight, after the interview, the first thing you say to him is like, how you feeling after that one, bro? Fucked. I fucked.
He went, I'm fucking tired, but I went, yeah. Fair one.
The maddest thing is, right, it's like, if you speak to any of the boys, obviously it's the same as any fight in it, but if you speak to any of the boys, one of the biggest things that we do is cardio. Like, we fucking,
yeah, you got to, bro.
Yeah, we work cardio, and then to see Logan come out, like, I was fucking laughing.
It just shows you give 100%. You know what I mean? Like, everyone at the show was actually fit enough to deal with their opponent. I think
100%. Yeah,
can't picture anyone that was fucked. Like, everyone did really well, actually. So that, you know, it just goes to show the level of fighters that you're inviting, and that, you know,
that's the pushback to Liam again. Like, every fucking podcast I do, right, no matter who it's with, no matter what it is, I always have to give him his props, because he does fucking, like, yesterday, right? He didn't turn up to training last night. He texted me, he's like, bro, I'm fucked. I can't come down. Whatever. I was like, yep, that's all good, bro. He goes, but everyone and their nan is going to get a message from Flow Fight Club tonight, right? And I come back to my phone, bro, and I think he done like 3 or 4 fights last night, and they're from everywhere. You know, like, there's gyms from all over the fucking shop, and that's the one thing that he does, is there's no restriction to it, and I think that's the best thing that we try and do with Rhondda Rampage. We try and bring in everybody from everywhere, so you're not just getting, you know, like, not on number 4 now, you're not just going to get, like, for example, you're not going to get like Logan versus, I don't know, Mason, for example, because they both fought in the last fight. It's not just going to be a repeat and rinse and repeat, you know.
Yeah, it's not like a round circuit of Wales, you know. You've got people coming from all over. And also, it's good for us, because Muay Thai is growing sport, bro. Combat sports is growing. Like, it's growing so much. And I feel like boxing is potentially taking a bit of a back step. People are really into the bare knuckle, the hybrid, the K1, the Muay Thai. Yeah. It's becoming more and more popular. And it's going to bring people to Wales. It's going to help our economy. It's going to help our fight scene. And it's just going to create more opportunities for us. You know, we scratch their back, they scratch ours. The more that we've got them coming here, the more invites we're going to get to go over there as well.
Exactly. And on to the next one. Now, this one, right? Cian Mullins versus Joe Patterson. Now, this was the first round stoppage. Cian stopped him with a low kick. Number 5.
Yeah, got it.
Cian, bro, I watched that fight back. There's a couple of things I want to say on this fight, right? And number 1, the first thing was, Cian is one smooth dressed motherfucker, bro. Coming out to Elvis Presley and doing your green screen fucking tail of the tape in a bright green sparkly suit, walking around the fucking venue like you own it. I love it.
Bro, it just builds the energy. It's just such a good vibe, man. Like, you got to be able to have a laugh, and
dude,
it makes the night that little bit better. It adds that little bit more.
He turned up, right? So I done the weigh-ins. So the way that we do the weigh-ins normally is me or Liam. So you'll check in with one of us, and one of us will check your weight then up on the scale, right? And he turned up, and he just, you know what it's like when you're weighing in. Everyone's like, fucking one of them. Done his weigh-in, come back, because the boys from Two Dragon, obviously, it's a bit of a mission from there to us. So they said they were going to go home and come back up. So they went back home, come back up for the medicals, and he walked in. And I had the second look at him. I was like, who the fuck is that in that
Yeah,
fucking suit? And bro, honestly, you
yeah,
know,
man. Not only did he bring the entertainment, he also brought the performance to back it up.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Now that was the next point. Like he went out and that no, Gary said there's a comment on one of our Instagram reels, uh, is that Joe took the fight on, I think it was either 10 days or a week's notice. So big respect for
yeah,
Joe,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he actually hasn't competed in a little while as well. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this was a bit of a return for him as well.
Yeah, so Joe normally fights MMA, but he
Right.
hasn't fought for a lot. I think it was a year. I think I may be wrong. I'd
Yeah, I
have to
think
double check the
I've seen some
comment.
stuff. I've seen some stuff on Instagram
Mm,
saying that he'd been inactive
yeah,
for quite a while. So fair
yeah.
play to him. And then to take it on a week's notice.
Take it on a week's notice, and then not just that, then no sparring, and especially going from MMA into K1, completely different sport.
Yeah, of course. I obviously teach at an MMA gym, and if I smother the guys, sometimes they just fucking grab my legs, bro, and I'm like, get off! I don't know what to
There we go.
do.
And
but,
out of
but
nowhere.
obviously, if you fight in K1 and you're an MMA fighter and you get smothered, you might not feel super comfortable in that position because your go-to defense you're not allowed to use.
Mm,
So yeah, fair play to him and a massive respect to him.
yeah,
Kian he obviously had a game plan and he stuck to it.
that's what
And
he
it
said.
showed. Yeah,
Yeah,
it showed. Yeah.
yeah. Like, look, man, you fucking to get a stop again, right? I'm not gonna take nothing away from Joe, but to get a stoppage on leg kicks in the first round, and you know, to put on a dominant performance, and then have, as we said, have that entertainment factor, have that swag about yourself, have that. He had that confidence. He had everything that we wanted, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Kian can do next. Like that he's an exciting fighter to have, and not just that, he's one of the most fucking down to earth and humble motherfuckers I met. When I seen him in the change room, I went up to him and I shook his hand and I said to him, I said, bro, I said, what a fight. And he came up to me, he was like, it's just what I do. It's that's what we want. But the next thing that I wanted to touch on, and it was the conversation with you after the fight, was got quite emotional and got quite raw when he said about his dad, where he said that his dad told him that he couldn't do this, or that he wouldn't be able to go out and fight. And to see Kian's response, where he basically told him, he was like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. Sorry, it crashed there. Not sure
It's
if
all good,
my.
bro. So
But
what?
yeah, obviously, I did his interview, and do you know what? I feel like, given what he's going through
Mm,
and the performance that he displayed, if he stays on track this year, he could change his life this year. It only takes 12 months to change your life, bro. And falling out with immediate family like that, it can fucking send you, bro. Like, he's got all the fuel that he needs right now to
mhm.
absolutely change his life. And I'm really excited to see what he does with that fuel next.
Yeah, same. Because as I said, like to come out and to be that emotional and raw on an interview, like straight after, you could see that it was. I'm not going to say playing on his mind, but you could see it was something that was there, and I take
Yeah.
my hat off to him.
They weren't empty words, bro. You could hear it in his
Yeah.
voice. You could see that he meant every word he said.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I said, man, I'm looking forward to Keaton, and I'm also looking forward to Joe, because Joe's fighting on adrenaline. He's fighting Yosef from 3D MMA up in Trioki. Cavan fought on our show. That's his team. So
right,
he's
okay.
fighting Yosef on Wally's show. So that'll be a good scrap for Joe. But yeah, that, like I said, Kian, we can't wait to see what's next for that guy. I really can't. I really
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. It's going to be an interesting career to keep an eye on.
Mm,
If he stays active and just keeps the mental state that he's in, I think potential for some big wins and
yeah.
like that. So
Now, next one, Jack Hardin from Welsh Gladiators versus Ollie Miller from Cardiff Eagles. What a
Ollie
fight.
Miller's a big guy, no?
Yeah.
Fucking guy's like 7 foot tall, bro. What the fuck? I train with Jack. I train with him on Saturdays. I go down to Corn's gym on a Saturday for
Yeah.
sparring. And bro, I'm not joking. Yeah, the only way I put hands on Jack is if I get a bit nasty. Like if we're playing full IQ, no power, bro, the guy's a wizard, man. He's got skills for days.
And I'm sure, was that his first or second fight
I
on Rhondda
believe it's
Rampage?
his second fight.
Second, yeah.
Um, I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I'm not.
When he come to, because he come to the Apollo Inter Club, if you remember.
Yes, that's where I started chatting to because I'd seen him
Yeah.
at Corns, but I
Mm.
hadn't really spoke to him. And then obviously I seen him at the Inter Club, and I was like, "Shit, you're good. We're gonna have some rounds." And then
Yeah.
I sparring with him after that.
He is a very talented guy. Like he's
Bro, his timing is so hard to get around, and his distance management is impeccable. Even if you fake, he'll still keep you halfway across the room, bro. He's so hard to get into.
mm.
He's really, really good. I'm really excited to see what else he brings. I'm glad we're not the same weight.
One of the other things as well is obviously training with Corn. You know, he's going to have that aggressive approach and that aggressive style as well. But obviously,
Yeah,
if Jack can like cater into the way that he fights, which you've seen
yeah.
that he did on on Rhondda Rampage, you've seen that you yeah, like you said, like he's got
To be fair, yeah, you've pointed something out there that maybe I'll talk to Con about. He he fought almost like we spar with a
yeah,
little bit more power.
mm,
What I'd like to see from Jack next is the ability to turn it on and off. The ability to be like, okay, we're playing, and when he lands a shot, I'd like to see him go.
yeah.
Got you. Boom, bum, 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 bum. Get that 10 count, get that finish. Um, yeah, take my hat off to Ollie. Ollie took everything and he didn't quit and he kept coming back for more. But Jack's rhythm is just so hard to break.
Yeah.
You know, he's very, very talented.
And not just that as well, but like he's he looked very comfortable no matter where the fight went, even if he was on the back foot. Like there's I think it's in the second round. I think he goes back with his front leg up to check and he's pretty much hopping on his back leg while going back and he leans into the ropes, but he just looks comfortable. He wasn't worried about the sweep. He wasn't worried about he looked comfortable. He looked comfortable under pressure. And he also looked, I'd be honest, he looked very comfortable under fire as well.
Yeah. The problem with Jack as well is when that leg is up, you can try and get around it, but I
Mm,
promise you he'll still keep you.
mm,
You won't be able to cut an angle. It's very, very you're gonna need good timing if you're
yeah,
gonna put on that boy.
yeah.
He's too skilled.
And again, like we've touched with Cone, like gladiators, they're like Apollo, it's open. You know, well, we don't do Thai, but they're open to anything. Like obviously Jack fought N class Thai, but then he'd also fight K1. And this is the thing, having that ability to adapt and do both. And then it leads back to what you said, being able to switch it on and switch it off. When you can switch it on and switch it off, I think that, yeah, again, there'd be another danger. You know, like what this is the biggest thing with us. Like we're only this will be our fourth show coming up now. We've built weight classes for a reason, right? I know that we have guys who fight at 71, 77, 78, 94. I know that. But then we have weight classes for a specific reason. So like if these guys can push themselves, if they're a tweener, as you know, every fucking UFC fan ever says, if you're a tweener, if you're between 73, if you're between 72 and 74 and you don't know if you can get to 70 or you don't want to go up to 75, I get that, but we still get you a fight. But then this is the thing, you get people like Jack, you get people like Kian who have got the potential to go, right, give me another 2 or 3 fights this year. And then maybe we start looking at title fights for guys like that who put on these type of performances because like it shows. And then again, the other side is bringing people from everywhere else to test them against. Like Jack fought somebody, you know, Cardiff Eagles are a well-known gym. They had a lot of boys on the show. They've got a lot of boys going
Yeah,
forward.
take absolutely nothing away from Ollie either.
Yeah.
Ollie performed really well, and I'd like to see him fight someone else
Mm-hmm.
more his pace.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that Jack hasn't had many fights. So
Yeah.
he's going to have to fight people with a similar experience. So it's going to be hard. He's going to need some game opponents coming forward.
Yeah.
But take nothing away from Ollie at all. Definitely performed really well. He just came up against a very, very experienced amateur who is going to fly to pro, I think.
Mm.
I think Jack Harden could be fighting A class within 2 years, not a problem.
So the thing, man, like you have guys, as we said, it goes back to what you said just now. Everyone on the cards come in to fight, to put on what they wanted to, and then now with Jack, you could go on to, as you said, the A class. You can go on to fighting. You can get ranked for the WMO. These are the things. Like this is the things that we offer
Let's
now.
go.
So again, I look forward to seeing that with Josh. On to the next one was Brandon Greenough from Mamas versus Josh Norton from TCA. Now, I thought this fight was a fucking scrap, and
Yeah,
it was a hard one.
very back and forth, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I think ring craft is probably what edged it. But again, that was back and forth. 1 minute Brandon's in control, next minute Josh is in control. Is so back and forth.
Me and Liam had the conversation, like we rewatched it, and yeah, it was one of those ones that on the night, I'm not going to say it could have went either way because that, it takes anything away from the judges, but that's all it would have took is like an extra strike from the other one or an extra
Yeah,
something else
yeah,
or this
yeah.
because it was so close. It was so
I
close.
think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think towards the end you could start to see fatigue in Josh. If I'm thinking of the right fight, which I hope I am.
I'd be honest, but I think it was more the both of them. The two of them started to slow down.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying with
the
Josh.
judges are watching, man, at all times. And
Yeah.
if you know you're in a firefight that's 50-50, you're getting hit, you're landing shots, you're trying to block, you're trying to move, you're on constant send. You've got to bear in mind the judges are watching. And if it's 50-50, it's going to come down to ring craft, who's got center ring, who's in control, whose rhythm is taking the lead.
Yeah.
And then also, who's fucked.
Yeah.
Because if you look fucked and your opponent doesn't, already the judges are favouring the guy that doesn't look fucked because you just look cleaner. Your shots may not even be more clinical, but they'll look it if you look it.
The other one is if you fall or you land into the clinch, you land a knee, and then you go back into the clinch, you land another one. You go back in, you land another, and you're, as the opponent, is not doing nothing. Again, it goes back to
you've got to be able to break that rhythm, man. Whenever you take a knee, you've got to be looking for the counter. You can't just, I got need. I got need.
Yeah.
I got need. And you do see it sometimes, especially at the, 1 fight, 2 fights, 3 fights. But obviously, as these guys keep coming back and they get more fights under their belt, we will be able to start to see, hopefully, more IQ level, people return things. But that will definitely play a massive effect on the judges' scorecards. And especially when it's like K1 rule set. This was, just double check, this was K1.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Brandon and Josh. Yeah.
Obviously, some people say every shot scores the same. But I do believe the knees score a little bit more. I believe.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the knees score that a little bit more. From my perspective, like because with a knee, you can see the knee like you see it all the time. You can take a shot, it can bounce off your arms, it can bounce off the gloves.
Yeah.
With the knee, if you land the knee, you've landed the fucking knee.
If it hits the body, it's that's a nice score for you. And especially if your opponent's not sending them back, especially with it being 1 strike release. If they're releasing and then striking you again, and you haven't put a counter in between those 2 strikes, it's not looking good, is it?
Yeah. But that fight again, like those two, it was a knife's edge, that one. It was fucking close, but it was a good scrap. It was another one, that like me and Liam have already looked at it. We were like, right, this is tough. It goes the way it goes, but that's the name of the game, isn't it? You know, like as we said, it's a knife's edge for a reason. You know,
Yeah,
so
I believe Josh was trying to be a little aggressive with it, but couldn't get his rhythm going. And Brandon obviously had an answer
yeah.
in that. Yeah, have
Next
we?
one,
Go on.
bit of a fan favorite.
Yeah,
Harry Squirrel Thomas versus Tyler Williams from Welsh Gladiators and Squirrels from KGB. Now, the first thing I want to say before we go and jump into this one is what a fucking fight from
yeah,
both
yeah,
guys. From both
yeah,
guys. One of the things that I want to mention, and I want people to understand, this was Tyler's debut against somebody who was like Squirrel was 0-3 at the time, and Tyler's making his debut against somebody who's been in it 3 times.
yeah,
That's like you can tell the difference, you know. And I'd be honest, Tyler handled it really fucking well. You know, it
yeah.
was
Absolutely.
yeah, like I was saying, like Tyler done what you know we expected. He went in, he fought his heart out, and then to come up against Squirrel. So I'm gonna hand it over to you. What was your perspective? And
Yeah, so I'm obviously a Squirrel fan, bro. But I'm a Squirrel fan because Squirrel's crazy. Squirrel's game, bro. And I'm like that sometimes. Like, if you're beating me, I hope you're prepared for war because I ain't gonna go down easy. Do you know what I mean? And he's a bit like that. When you see him start to lose on points, he goes fucking mad. But obviously not this time. Not this time. He stayed very calm, very good with his distance management. He wasn't rushing in. He wasn't trying to knock out Tyler. He
yeah,
was trying to beat him up. And those are two different things, bro. Trying to beat someone up and then trying to knock them out, those are two different things. And if you can switch between the two during a fight, now you're talking. So we've seen him go. We know he's got go in him. And now we've seen him be a little smart with it as well. So I'm excited now as he starts to progress further to see if he can learn how to switch that on and off.
one of the,
Because
yeah, exactly what you said. Switch it on and off. And one of the things that I noticed from watching the fight back was in the first one, in Squirrel versus Princess Joey on number 2, Wally was
yeah,
screaming his fucking head off, right?
fucking flying squirrel, man.
Number 3, you can see Wally in the corner and he's very calm. Like there's you could just see the difference. And when me and I had a conversation with Squirrel last week after the fight, and I wanted to speak to him because I wanted to see what you know what it was like. And he said after in the interview that we done, he was like, there was things that happened and this was different. And he was like, Jared locked him in his van, you know, like these things that he done, you know, just to make sure that he was good. But I was so fucking impressed with his performance, man. So fucking impressed.
Yeah, same man. Obviously, can't wait to see what's next for him as well. Like,
Yeah.
if he keeps on this trajectory, he could have a very interesting future.
Because look, man, like with Squirrel, he said himself, he was like, people like to watch me fight, and they do. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, yeah, I said just
I
now,
was
I was like,
saying it from the minute it was announced. I was like,
yeah,
yeah, let's go. I can't wait for this one.
yeah,
He's entertaining, bro.
he is, and not just that, he's a fucking awesome person outside of the
Yeah,
ring as well. Like
yeah,
yeah, he's great. And then back to like to touch back to Tyler, like one of the things that I've got massive props to for Tyler is it doesn't matter what it is. If it's training, he'll do it. Like I've
mm,
been, you know, I help with Colm with the fight and homelessness projects, and Tyler was always there, and he would always give his best in training, and he would always try and lead by example, and he would always and dude, even though like that was a loss on his record, I don't think that was a loss like to him. I think now that we're going to
no,
see a different Tyler, I think that coming forward, like especially under the tutorship of Corn again. I know we've touched back on Corn again, but especially under him with Tyler, as long as he can hone it in, excuse me, as long as he can hone it in, and I reckon he can get a lot more to Tyler. And I think after this fight with
yeah.
Squirrel going forward, you can see that.
Tyler's just still quite new. That's all.
Exactly.
He just needs a bit more time. He listens well. Obviously, as
Mm-hmm.
I said, I do train down at Corn's gym with good friends. So I'm there pretty much every week as long as I'm not working. And I've trained with Tyler. I've took him on the pads. He listens well. He's a sponge. He
Yeah.
just hasn't had enough time to absorb enough yet.
Yeah.
But I think as he learns more, he'll go. He's game as they come, which is all you really need in a fighter. Everything else can be taught.
Yeah.
The only thing that can't be taught is that willingness to fight.
Yeah.
And he's got it in buckets, so he'll have his time.
He was in prep for this one. They come up with us and Foxy. My boy's 52 kilo, and them two were doing rounds. Like they do five twos every Friday at the start of the session, and then do the rest of sparring. You know, and that's one of the things that I always had respect for Tyler. Like Tyler turned up in a complete new gym that didn't know anybody. Turned up in a new gym with Corn. Corn told him that this is what you're doing. There was no, but do I need to do that? Like there was none of that shit. It was like, right, cool. And then, you know, if I started telling Tyler what to do, Tyler come up to me and the first thing, you like as you said, he's just a sponge. He would just absorb every single thing you tell him. And again, yeah.
And he's not just listening for the sake of listening. No. He's listening to learn. If he doesn't understand, he'll ask.
Yeah.
If you tell him, a lot of people, bro, you tell them something and they'll go, yeah. And then you'll ask them 5 minutes later and they'll be like, I don't know. And I'm like, I told you 5 minutes ago. But he will ask questions. If you tell him something, you can see he's thinking about what you're telling him because he'll ask questions based on it.
Yeah. And one of the top like impressions as a coach is seeing somebody. The top thing that you look for as a coach and an impression that somebody will leave on you is the fact they listen to you and take you on. Because there are times where you sit there and you can see that it's just going whoop straight over somebody's fucking head. And yeah, it's not the best, but
yeah, we play question time in Olympus. If you don't listen in Olympus, you're gonna do a lot of fucking burpees, bro.
So Ruhail Abbas from Giant versus Jake Island from Cardiff Eagles again. Now, what a scrap.
Yeah, it's him, bro. This is the one I was talking about. I've seen him on socials. This guy's active as fuck, bro. He's fighting like every week, every 2 weeks, something like that. He's already fought since Flow. Yeah, and I think he's got more planned as well, bro. Like this guy is going somewhere if he keeps going. And obviously he's from Giant, so they're a high caliber. Yeah, very exciting. And he put on a hell of a performance.
Yeah. Bro. That was his first Thai fight.
Yeah, actually, if you look on the Giant socials, it'll be gone now. But on the story, he was like, "What's Thai oil?" And then there's a photo of him fighting Thai.
Oh, bro!
Even know what Muay Thai was,
bro. Right. So we're in the changing room, right now. I think it was either Tristan or Tommy. It might have been Tommy, and he was like, "Right, bro, we're gonna get you ready." He said, "Come down, lie on the yoga mat." Right, so literally they lay a yoga mat out on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was Tommy, and he goes, "Right, and give you a oil massage." What do you mean, bro? What do you mean? And he starts putting this on. He's like, "What's this, bro? What are you putting on me, bro?" And he starts. Oh my god, it was so funny.
I mean, but he's game to fight Muay Thai, bro, and he doesn't even know the process. Do you know what I mean? And he's just like, yeah, fuck it, go with the flow.
Yeah.
But
that was a scrap. That was.
Yeah, they emptied their tanks, bro. You could see by the end of the fight, like everything slowed down. The punches had slowed down, the kicks had slowed down. They emptied their tanks, bro.
It was another great fight from two great teams where they're coming in and they are emptying everything. Like Jake Island again, right? Jake had a pull out. I think it may have even been two, and Ruhail stepped in. And I'll be honest, man. Like one of the things that I wanna touch on with this is like it does. If it's a pullout, it's a pullout, innit? You know, it's just another name, and that's one of the things that a lot of the things happen with the smaller shows is you have guys pull out, and you know sometimes people they kind of throw up a fuss or whatever because somebody's pulled out. But I'll be honest. Everyone that we had pullouts for, I had one with Logan. Everyone we had pullouts for, everyone just went, "Yep, cool, another name. Let's just go." It doesn't really bother me, and that's one of the things I love. Yeah, I love that because, as you said, a fight's a fight. You're not just going in to try and my record or this. No, you're fucking going in to try and learn and progress and do what you can and show what you can. So,
Bro, I'm not being funny. Santry has had more losses than anyone in Wales has had fights.
Yeah, yeah, that's
No
true.
one, no one active in our circuit at the moment has had as many fights as Santry's had losses. It doesn't matter. You just fight.
Yeah,
Like,
just fight.
records are for DJs, bro, and that's it.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't matter win, lose, draw. It's an experience gained.
yeah. And like we said, like with Jake, I think I was Jake. Jake was a 1-1 maybe or 1-0 coming in, and I think going forward, we can't wait to have Eagles back on, and I think Jake again, it'd be another good scrap for him, and then Ruhal again, bro. Like that kid again got something coming up in the future, like so.
Yeah,
Now,
he's got game, bro. He's got
yeah.
game.
Next one is Mitch Jones from Apollo versus Ben Andrews in the hybrid boxing.
Is this the little
Yeah,
bugs?
yeah.
This was a one puncher, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was quick, bro.
Yeah,
Real quick. Mitch Jones, um, obviously would like to see him fight again and get a bit more of a fight.
yeah.
Clearly packing some power, or maybe it was a mental edge. I don't know. Um, what do we think? Have you spoke to Ben Andrews? Is he looking to come back, or is he
No,
sort
he's
of
not going to come back.
maybe it's just not for him?
Yeah,
Sometimes that happens. Fair play to him. Big round of applause for getting in and having a
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Because a lot of people wouldn't. But it can be, I've been punched in the face with no gloves on, and it's a different experience, bro.
it is.
And
It
it
is.
can be a shock to the system if you've never had it before.
Yeah, I think the mental edge thing was a big win, and I think it was a good comment that you made then. I think that look, as we said, Mitch is my boy again, so I don't want to be biased. It's the same as with Logan. It's the same as with Brad and Jory. I don't want to be biased, but like Mitch looks intimidating as well. Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
fucking.
he's a nice guy though.
But he's the best. Like
he's actually such a polite dude.
he's the fucking best, man. He
Yeah.
is, and but
But yeah, look,
it
he
was
did really
like
well. The bottom line is though, bro, yeah, muscles don't win fights. So,
true.
however, like I always try to tell people this because you should never be intimidated by the way someone looks.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put me in a cage with a bodybuilder, I promise you, I knock him out. Like, do you know what I mean? Muscles don't win fights,
True.
but definitely would have liked to see more.
Yeah.
That jab was pretty stiff. It'd be interesting to see if he can do it again, or if perhaps maybe Ben's just not for those little gloves, which is okay. Fair play to him for coming in, and a huge respect for having a go.
Yeah, like back to the point you said about the muscles don't win fights, which is true. That is true.
There's no need to ever be intimidated by the way someone looks.
But I think that's one of the things that kind of like got on top of Ben, and I think
possibly.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. You could see when we were walking out, I could kind of like see that he was just a bit like, whoa, you could. It was a bit of a deer in headlights kind of moment, but. Like you said, man, fair play for jumping in.
These things happen, and he still got in and he still did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't get the result. I'd like to see him come back, bro, because it'd be nice for him to come back and accept that he can do it.
He's fighting, I think he's fighting K1 on a different show in April. I can't remember the name. I seen it. But then I think he fought 2 weeks after ours and he was a complete different guy. He went out, he put the work on.
Perhaps just not his night then.
Yeah, and it happens. To talk about the finish, because a lot of people have said about the stoppage, it was the jab, 4-ounce gloves, and it bounced off the top of his forehead. It literally hit him. I think it was there. Yeah. And you just see the hand go past. And as you said, small gloves, man, it's a different fucking story. And it could jar you,
Yeah.
So I think that's all that one was really. I think it was just that, and it is what it is. For Mitch, this next, I'll be honest, we've got, like Mitch said to me straight after, he said to you as well, he was like, let's go, get me in. I want to fight straight away. Yeah. So
his words were, chuck someone in now and we'll just run it again.
Yeah, we just go like. But we got a couple of ideas for Mitch. There's a good couple of things we got going forward. So keep an eye out on Mitch, and may not just be in the small gloves. You could be looking at the 10s as well. Now, next one was Finley Donahoe from KGB versus Fingal Keith from Welsh Gladiators. What was your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so Finley Donahoe, very, very talented young lad.
Mm.
Very talented young lad. He come up against the Czech sniper. I can't think of his actual name. Peter.
Yes.
In his last fight. Now, Peter's been around a long time, so that's a big fight for Finn. And it knocked him. You know, he took that loss, and I was a little bit worried that would. I thought, oh, that might be the end of him now. But no, he came back. You know, this was his return, and he put on a clinical performance. But he controlled the ring, he controlled the pace. He was smiling the whole time. Like he definitely not gone yet. He will definitely continue to grow, I think.
Yeah, dude, he just look, like Fingal fought in the first one. Fingal's fought everyone and everywhere, and he is not one to turn away from a fight, right? But
he fought on Budo, I think, 1 or 2 weeks later.
Yeah, and he won by rear naked choke.
Yeah, yeah. So two very game lads.
Yeah. I just think Finley just outdone him. I think it was just like the skill aspect. Like it goes back to go on.
All the boys that have come from KGB on that show were very calm and very technical, and they've clearly been working their IQ, and it's exciting stuff, bro. Because these guys, for a long time, you'd see people, they'd come, they'd have a couple of good stories, and then they get a little black eye and they disappear. But people are sticking around now. People are sticking around, and we're starting to get some experience coming through. As we say, the sport is growing, it's getting more popular, and these guys are at the forefront now. Yeah. As the sport continues to grow and more people continue to join and not quit, these guys are at the forefront. Finley's a young lad. He's got a big future if he just keeps going. And the same for Fingal as well. He's gaining so much experience. There's going to come a point where he's got too much experience and he's going to become very difficult to handle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, Fingal come out, he tried to work what he could. He tried to work what he can. He couldn't get it off. Like you said from the start, couldn't find his rhythm. Finley come out, and there's a video that Box got, and Finley throws, I think it was like 4 or 5 unanswered leg kicks, and you could just hear that every single thud, and you know you could see it. You could see that Finley in the interview as well, because after the first thing you said, you asked him was, "How are you feeling?" He goes, "Sound, like I'm back," you know. And that was one of the things he said was like, I took from, as you said about the Czech sniper, I learned from that, and now this is what I'm about. I can't wait to see what's next for him.
Yeah, I actually think that loss against Peter will skyrocket his level. Because Peter's no joke, man. He's fought for WMO titles. Like he's a serious guy. So I think that's a good loss for Finn. Yeah. That's very, very good. And to see him come back so confident. Well, he was confident before.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a little bit of a pause because we didn't hear anything for a while.
Yeah.
But he is in fact back, and he's definitely going to keep going. I think so. It's exciting to see what comes next.
Well, one of the things that Wally was telling me was I think it was the day before the weigh-in, he moved down closer to KGB. Otherwise, he was living in the Rhondda, traveling down every single day.
Right, and, okay.
You know, now...
That's commitment, bro.
You can see it works, though.
Yeah.
You know? And the other side is, he moves down there now, like Wally does morning classes and whatever, you know, so like, you could see this jump in, like you'll see this jump now in the next show and then the next show, because he said about April, then he said about stand-up war. So if he fights on there and then we get him back, I can't wait to see what's next for him. Like,
I'm on that card.
You know, it'd be chaos, and we'll touch on that right at the end. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
Next one was Calvin Evans from 3D MMA versus Joey Princess Knight from 2 Dragon. Now, this fight, right? Joey fought Squirrel on Rhondda Rampage 2. And Joey done to Squirrel was Squirrel done to Tyler. Joey come out, put on a technical performance against Squirrel, and that's where the flying squirrel come from, and so on, so on. Now, Calvin come out, and Calvin is a very, very experienced fighter. Like Joey's the same. Like Joey's fought full contact, like he's also fought like mat contact sports and all that type of stuff. So he's got the rounds in, and then Calvin's fought MMA. He's fought K1, and then I think it was Princess's first fight without shins, and then to fight Cav, who we spoke about this in the first time we had a conversation. Like fighting MMA with no shins is completely different to fighting K1 with no shins, isn't it? So,
Yeah,
it is a bit of a different stretch. But I'll be honest, like my old man said to me after it, he come up to me, he was like, that fight, he said that the kicks that them two were throwing, the head kicks that were landing, the body kicks that were landing. There's a replay on Instagram where Carmen takes a head kick, puts his hands down and smiles at Joey, and what a scrap again,
yeah. These guys, man. Like I said at the start, this entire show, bro, just game fighters, all of them, 50-50 matches, just pure war. The whole night was just war.
Yeah. Yeah. And with Cav comes from 3D MMA, which was like my original team, but then it's been taken over by his dad now, which is Brad. And like Liam trains up in 3D every Sunday for sparring. He goes up, and like I said, Yosef is from that team who's fighting Joe on Adrenaline. So they've got a big team, and Yosef just won a Thai stadium title.
He's out in Thailand, is he?
Yeah, he literally just come back. He went pro.
Yeah.
Brad told me he went out for 2 weeks, got offered a fight. Took the fight, so he goes like, I'm not going to come back for another 4. Done that, and then got offered a title fight. He goes, I'm not going to come back for another 4. Won the title, right? And now he's coming back and fighting on Adrenaline. So
Exciting. Okay. No,
yeah,
I'll be at Adrenaline. I've got some guys on Adrenaline.
That's Cav's teammate. That's Yosef. But as we said again, back to Cavan and Joey. Like Joey come out. It was a tough fight for the two of them again. One of the things that Joey did definitely show was his game and his heart. Like he was game to fight. He was game to go to the end, and he was game to to go through. And then Cav, I think one of the key points for me was Cav's composure. In all honesty.
Yeah, I do. I say this, the refs are watching, bro. The judges are watching. They're looking at you, and if you look fucked, it's not going to look good. Especially if you're trying to throw punches and you look slower, you look fucked, and your opponent looks fresh. It's going to sway them. It's going to sway them that way.
Yeah, yeah. On to the next one. Daryl Double Barrel Christopher from CFK versus Tay Williams from Welsh Gladiators in a Thai fight.
Bro, where do you even start to digest this fucking fight, man? What a madness, bro. How many knockdowns? 3? 4?
Yeah.
3 knockdowns, 2 by elbow, no?
Yeah, overall. 2 by elbow, 1 each.
Bro, I don't even know where to start. What a crazy fight, man. If you didn't watch this fight, then you need to go watch this fight. Like, this was crazy.
Daryl kept saying to me, like, when we had the conversation, he said to me, he was like, this is going to be a good... He wants either a war, like you would have seen it in the interview before. He's like, I either want a war or I'm going to stop him. And then the two of them come out with that aggression where they both wanted to stop each other. Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, this fight is like, if I could clip this fight to promote Muay Thai, that's how I would promote Muay Thai. Yeah, Tay came out the aggressor. And I think he, if I'm remembering correctly, he was putting Daryl on the back foot really well. And then Daryl just hit this elbow out of nowhere, caught Tay on the neck. And I've had this happen to me. A German guy who I fought in Thailand hit me here with an elbow. And I went down. And I remember thinking, what the fuck? Why am I... Like, my brain was thinking, punch, punch, punch. And my body was like, shit, you've took a knee. Why have you took a knee? And I was like, why? What are you doing? Get up. But I couldn't get up. My legs wouldn't work. And I looked at the ref and he's going 6, 7. And I'm like, shit, get up, dickhead. Like, your legs just stopped working, bro. Like, and then I think that put Tay, he goes into his head sometimes. And then I think Harold started to take over a little bit from there then.
I think one of the biggest improvements for me was Tay come to fight. Like, look, I'm going to be honest, right? That kid has got some power. That kid has got some technique. Like, you've seen it in Rhondda Rampage 1 when he fought, Kester. Come out, he went for Kester straight away. It was all right. He got whipped with a body and that was it. But he still went out. And then this one, to go out and to do what he done, he went a tough 3 rounds. He wanted the tie fight. This is the thing. He's always wanted a tie fight. Like you've seen him on adrenaline when he fought the boy from Drag on the last adrenaline. Like after they got stopped for a second, he starts like warming up by throwing elbows and stuff, even though they're fighting K1. You know, like he wanted the tie
Yeah,
fight.
I want to see the version of him that fought Nathaniel
Hmm. Okay.
on what show was that on?
Is it on Jeff's show on CFK?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, he had Tommy in his corner, and honestly, I was not. I was in Nathaniel's corner, and I was not expecting what I was watching. I was watching it thinking, "What the fuck?"
Hmm.
Like I couldn't see gaps. I couldn't see his technique was just perfect,
Yeah.
and it was, but it seems to have been a one-time thing.
Look, I'll be honest. I think the two of them, that was a very well matched. Again, back to match scraps. That was a very well matched fight because
Yeah,
they both come out to do what they both said they were going to do, and that was come out, fight, and fucking try and stop each other. Because as soon as Daryl said that he's going to stop him in the clinch, Tay was like, he doesn't even know what the fuck a clinch is, and then they start, what it's like, and blah blah blah.
a
Like,
bit back and forth, and then
the thing is, oh, bro, like I'm reading this from Instagram. I'm just reading the comments. I'm like, oh, here we go. I love it. Fucking double tap, double tap to like.
But
But
I think Daryl's on a bit of a mission right now. No,
yeah,
I think
yeah. After what he said to you, after when he was like, look,
I
I'm
think we're
tired.
gonna keep seeing more of him.
Mm. Like, he can't fight on the May one because he's away. But I have got a bit of an idea for him going forward. Like he he showed, like he showed everybody that he went on a skid because of title fights. He didn't go on a skid because he was losing. He went on a skid
Mm.
because he was losing to guys who were fucking title holders. Like he
Mm.
lost to Big Joe, went on, and then he fought for an ISKA title, lost that, and then he went on and fought for another title. And it's like, yeah, okay, you can
These
kind of
aren't
see
Mickey
it.
Mouse titles either. These are legit.
No,
People holding these titles are not no jokers, bro.
yeah. And not just that, he went away for the K1 to represent Wales. He fought, I think he went to the semis. I may be wrong, or, he done that. And so, I mean, I like Daryl. He's a fucking awesome guy. Obviously, we were
Yeah,
at
and
the
he's a
Inter
nice
Club.
guy as well, actually.
Yeah, and we were at the Inter Club down in CFK. And, yeah, I can't wait to see again what's next for him. And also, same for Tay. I think with Tay, if he stays on the path of keeping himself in check, and because one of the things that Tay done before was he missed weight. With this
Mm.
one, he turned up and he was the most professional. He was on weight. Like Colin texted me 2 days prior. He was like, "Bro, everyone's on weight. I'm ready to go." And that's the thing, innit? You win that battle, then you go forward and you're showing everybody you know what you're capable of. And like I said, I think the both of them had from a good fight. I think the both of them gained some stock in themselves, and I think that going forward we can see see what's next for the two of them.
Yeah, definitely. I think be nice to see Daryl do some more Thai. I know that
Yeah.
he comes from kickboxing gym and he runs does all the kickboxing stuff. Obviously, he run Inter Club at the
Mm,
weekend. We were at up there with him, really well run. So, but yeah, I'd like to see him do some more Thai actually, because that elbow, bro, the position
I know.
he actually smashed it. That was perfect. So I want to
Mm,
see some more of it.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, like that's the thing, innit? As we spoke about in our first conversation, it's like the crossover is hard, but then doing the crossover, you can see the progression. Like you can see that Darrow's been working on. Like as soon as he was a tie fight, there was no, all right, this it was fucking right. I'm gonna work the elbows. I'm gonna work the clinch. I'm gonna do this, and it showed on the night. It was like again, it was fucking great to watch. It was another good fight to watch.
Yeah, very very entertaining fight.
Now, next one, Bradley Couch from Powerhouse Gym versus Brad Bailey from Apollo Sports in 4 ounce gloves, 90 kilo.
This was a these are big guys, bro. Brad Couch can bang. Oh, and I feel like Brad Bailey, he definitely had more people in the crowd. I think
Yeah.
when I was sitting at the desk, they all come out. I was looking at Brad Bailey like the favorite. Like he looked like the fan favorite. Sorry, but Brad Couch can bang, bro. Wow, what a shot,
bro. Honestly, right? Like
this happens, bro. In them gloves, like
mm.
I'd actually like to see them run it back. You know, I want to see that again.
So Brad has already asked me to do it in November already.
Brad Bailey,
yeah,
he wants redemption.
No, yeah. So Brad Bailey is from Apollo, and
yeah,
like when we got into the ring, as you said, everything was calm. Like he come out to my first entrance song as well, so I was fucking pumped. I was feeling this. I was like jumping in the fucking corner. I was proper feeling it, and yeah, like that was fucking hell. It was one, but it was one of them. Like there's no, oh yeah, Brad caught him with a clean 1-2. That's all it was Brad Bailey got put in the corner, threw a left hook, took Brad Couch's head back. Brad Couch come back with an overhand right, landed before Brad Bailey could hit him with a left hook, and that was it. That's all it was.
Yeah, it was, bro. I'd love to see it again. They would, yeah, what a fucking shot. But it also, I feel like Brad Bailey may have been more slightly in control, I would say, right until the very, and then Brad Couch just sort of took center ring, put him in the corner, and knocked him out. And it happened that fast, just like that.
Yeah.
But prior to that, Brad Bailey was actually doing quite well.
Kept him away, landed a couple of shots.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that one again, to be honest.
Thing is, with Brad Bailey, like we said, you know, he landed the shots, he put the work in. It's just one of those things. You just get clipped. It happens. It happens to the fucking best in the world. It happens. And I'll be honest, Brad has taken it so well, and he's taken some time off the gym. He runs B.B Civils, Brad Bailey Civils, so he's one of the show sponsors as well. So, and he's also one of the gym sponsors. So you know what it's like when you're self-employed. So he literally took some time off just after the fight. He's back in the gym, and he said to me, he was like, I want to run it back in November. And in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so but this is the thing with Brad, like, and it's the same with everybody, actually, just to touch on it. It's like it's a win or a learn, isn't it? You know, and Brad said to me, he was like, I know what I done. He said, I know what happened. I fucked up because I went back, got caught, couldn't leave, couldn't evade, got clipped. That's all it was.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was like I said, fucking can't wait to see Brad Couch again.
Yeah, well, yeah, that power is terrifying, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be interested. Apart from Brad Bailey, I'd be interested to see if anybody even wants to fight him after that.
Thing is, bro, he can go down in weight as well. Like he could probably, you know, he could because he trains in Powerhouse in Aberdeen. I think if he, you know, put a little bit work into the dieting, I think he can get down to like 85 kilo. You know.
Well, if you're gonna start throwing that weight around, you know, I'd like to see him fight,
bro. Don't you even? Oh, don't.
My,
what do you think? What do you think's in my head, my bro?
That's a fucking fight, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And guess what? Of course, the crazy bastard's asked for Informs gloves as well, isn't he?
Right. Listen, somebody sponsor Brad Couch for a fucking nutrition plan. I want to see this fight.
That would be chaos. Yeah. But this is what I mean. Like, there's another guy that I'd like to see him fight as well, and that'd be Billy Stewart from the way who Corn fought on Rhondda Rampage 2 for the title. Like, that's a more of Billy's weight as well. I think 85. I can't really remember. I have to double check, but I'm sure Billy said like 80 to 85 of his weight. If Brad Couch can get to 85.
And would they do boxing or K1?
Boxing.
Yeah, because I remember that fight with Corn and
Billy.
That Billy didn't like the leg kicks, you know.
No, so they fought boxing. Billy and Corn fought boxing. It was the main event. Yeah, main event Rhondda Rampage 2.
I'm thinking of a different fight then.
Yeah. It was where Corn was very fucking
hyped.
Yeah, to say the least. It was his house. His house.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking crazy Lithuanian.
Yeah.
So yeah, so everyone who's listening then can probably guess what we're thinking, just mentioning that crazy bastard. You know.
Let's go,
So
my bro.
on to the next one is Rowan Stevens from CFK versus James Dickman from Cardiff Eagles. Now, my first thing that I want to say on this fight is, wow, Rowan Stevens, man of very few words, but fuck me, can come out and put on a fucking work.
Yeah, that was a tough fight, bro. I wouldn't have wanted to referee that fight, man, or judge that fight. I mean,
Like,
that, uh,
bro, Rowan to stop somebody and then to be in a position where I'm not going to say he doesn't look tired, but like you don't even look like, I'm not going to say again, not going to say you don't look great in a fight, but you don't even look fucking uncomfortable. Like you put work on somebody. For the
yeah,
second round stoppage for Rowan, and then to look as comfortable as he did after, in the conversation with you, he just looked so
yeah,
comfortable in there. And then he's got a boxing bout in April, and then he's fighting on Jeff's, and then he's looking to potentially come back to us. He wants to be active this year, and he is a name to look out for.
yeah, yeah. He's been around a long time as well.
Yeah.
It's about time that people start to know who he is. He
Mm.
needs to be active. I think
Yeah.
it's now's his. This year is bringing a lot of people, bro.
Mm.
Already, people are really looking for experience, man. This year is going to be good for combat sports.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like CFK, like I said, with Rowan, then you got obviously like James Dickman with the Eagles. Again, like James, one of the things that I want to say with James was James had a big weight loss. Like he lost a lot of weight to get down to this weight. Like he come back off. I think he was on an injury. Come back after the injury, made the weight, come out, put on. He fought his fucking heart out again. Like
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
you know.
James did quite well to answer most of
Yeah,
Rowan's absolute assault, right?
yeah.
But I don't think they were bothering Rowan. That's the problem.
That's yeah.
It was very back and forth. However, Rowan was landing clean shots and clearly affecting James, whereas James was firing back. He was answering everything. His answers just weren't enough. They weren't bothering Rowan. He was still comfortable to sit there and have a firefight.
Yeah.
Whereas James, you could see him going backwards. You could see him getting hit.
Well, there's that highlight that I put on Instagram yesterday, and it starts on you. The first thing that you say is that would be horrible judging that round. I would not want to be judging that round. Do you know what I mean? And that was these two. So, but then for Rowan to put his foot on the gas and then finish it just shows, what he's got. And again, exciting. Like the CFK boys, like Josh Bush is another one that didn't end up fighting, but he's another one to look out for.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was K1, right?
Yeah, this
They
was,
have,
yeah.
They have shin pads on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Rowan take them off, bro.
Rowan was supposed to, but James, again, big rep to fucking Eagles. Rowan had to pull out. James stepped straight in.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
So
Rowan needs to get them off next now.
That's yeah.
Pro K1.
That's an idea of like him. It's the same as Josh Bush, man. Like Josh Bush, fucking 3 shows that we've had for CFK. 3 shows we've had in CFK. Put Josh up 3 times, and 3 fucking times you've had pullouts, man. Like
I didn't really, yeah, but Josh Bush again, quite similar to Jack Harding. Josh Bush is very good for his experience, so it's going to be hard finding guys that will fight them without giving away experience, and you don't want to give away too much experience and hinder your own,
of course,
progression. But
of course,
I think if you can accept that you might take a few losses and you're happy to give away that experience, it's not a bad move.
This is the thing: you've got them 2 training together. Like they are just going to push each other so fucking much.
They're both very good. They're both very good. I got high expectations of Josh Bush. I was actually messaging him on Instagram the other day. I didn't realize he's only had 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah, bro, he's not like deep into it. It's just
when you see him fight, you expect in 7, 8, maybe double figures, but he's still quite new. So,
bro, like I can't wait. Again, I can't wait to see Josh come eventually get into the fucking ring, and then like I can't wait to see Rowan come back to the Rampage ring. Like that's the other side.
Yeah, those two are going to be quite a nice pair together, I think.
Now, on to, I'm going to say, well, it was Fight of the Night.
Yeah.
And also Fighter of the Night, which was Josh Embradura from KGB. So we have the King of Muay Thai in Wales, which is Josh Embradura from KGB versus Brandon Brockway from Eagles again from Cardiff. Now, this was the WMO title, the first Welsh title to be fought for in Wales, which was fucking sick. Like, and also between two of, in all honesty, what a fucking fight. Like them two, like who else would you go put in that?
The skill set was clear as day. And for those that don't understand or know Muay Thai, this is a fight you want to watch to get your head around it. Like, what an absolute display of skill. Yeah, every skill was used. Evasion, blocks, catches, counters on everything. There was one point where Brandon Brockway tried to throw a body kick and Josh actually kicks underneath.
Yeah.
Bro, that requires extreme timing and skill. Techniques like that require so much timing and skill. Like, I can't wait to watch Josh again. And is he going to defend that title on Flow?
That's the plan.
Let's go. What do they weigh? What weight was this?
61.2.
Very light. Okay. Yeah, very exciting stuff. I'm trying to think who else is around that weight.
This is the thing, right? Like, who the fuck can he fight?
I don't know what. Oh no, because Tristan fought him, so he'd be way heavier.
No. This is the thing. It's like, who can he fight? But I want to hold the British. That's the next. I want to put the British on. You know, that's my next plan. But I want Josh to defend this as well because it just kind of adds a little bit more prestige to it. Do you know what I mean?
What about the rankings? We could look at
that's the plan.
Yeah,
spot
him probably next. Maybe get him in there somewhere. Fight between 5 and 10. There's got to be someone that will fight him.
Yeah, and this is the thing. They have to be Welsh because it's the Welsh title. But man, like Josh, like what we'll do, right? Because of this fight, because how fucking great it was. We'll start with Josh and then we'll go to Brandon. So Josh, for one of the first things that stood out to me was the height difference. Right? There's a photo on Instagram and I'm standing in between the two of them. And they're facing off then, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fucking hell. This is about a foot, maybe, you know, a little bit less. But the way Josh closed the distance and took that away from Brandon was wow.
Bro, his skill set was extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. Every skill set was used. Everything. Yeah. He used every Muay Thai skill set. He's been taught very well. He's been taught very well.
One of the points that Jazz said to me was like, he, at the end of a session, he'll go into the other room in KGB and he'll do fucking 500 knees, 500 kicks either side and just do, and he goes, he will go until he's fucking done. And you could see that. Not taking nothing away from Brandon Brockway, not taking a fucking
Brandon
thing
Brockway
away.
is also very skilled. We'll come on to him in a minute.
Yeah. But Josh, wow. Like I think my favorite sequence is where he defends, he throws a body kick. Josh bounces off the ropes, throws a fucking flying knee, lands the flying knee, drops in with a low kick and hooks him to the body. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, bro, it's just the whole thing, man. Just what a crazy fight and what a high level of skill. For me, so when I teach defense, we go through it in like difficulty order. So I always say like blocking's probably the easiest, right? You just lift your leg, you block, right? Catching's a little more difficult because if you don't take that step, you're basically giving them your body, right? Then I would say evade because footwork, you don't want to put yourself in the corner. And then last but not least is the teep or the intercept, right? That requires ridiculous level of timing and skill. He was doing it all the time. Every time Brandon tried to kick, he teeped. Every time Brandon threw a roundhouse kick, he'd kick the standing leg. He was landing those techniques. It didn't always result in a sweep, which ideally it would, but still so impressive to see, man. And yeah, what a beautiful display of Muay Thai.
Yeah. One of the key points that stood out to me was Josh had an answer for everything and then another one. That was it. That was
Yeah,
it. Like
yeah.
that really shone. Now on to Brandon, because as we said, we don't want to take fuck all away from either of them, but
No,
Brandon Brockway, what a performance!
yeah, definitely want to see him fight in Muay Thai again.
Mm,
His skill set again, insane,
yeah,
insane. It just first and last, bro. I think that's what it mostly came down to is first and last, and a little bit more dominance. But Brandon did amazing. He did amazing, and what an entertaining fight.
it was by far my favorite fight. For more than one reason. One being the WMO aspect, two being two boys who come and put everything on the line. There was no, like, you see it at the end. There's a photo that Jazz caught, which was sick when they both bowing at each other in the middle of the ring at the end. You could see the two of them. They left they left everything in there. And for the first time, like as you said, didn't it? You're part of history there, and those two displayed exactly what was expected from us, and they
Yeah,
showed everything.
yeah, I definitely want to see Brandon come back. It'd be nice to see Josh maybe defend the title against someone new, and
Yeah,
then maybe Brandon gets another shot. Who knows?
yeah,
Um, but yeah, what a beautiful display of Muay Thai. And with the level that they're at, either it could go either way at any point.
mm,
It really could. Josh could land a flying knee to the face. Brandon could land a snap kick to the face.
yeah.
That could be it. That could be it. Those two techniques, singular for either one of them, could end the fight at any point,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it very, very interesting.
Yeah, what a fucking fight! And
Yeah,
Josh won the promoter's box fight of the night, and he had an extra £100 from box, which is awesome from box. But like you
nice.
said, again, cannot fucking wait. And big props to one showing that, like I said, part of history. You showed exactly why the two of them deserve to be there. They showed what the pinnacle of Welsh Muay Thai is for the
Absolutely.
WMO, and that was awesome, fucking awesome. Now on to the main event: Ash Williams from Powers Gym versus Geordie Lee Lewis from Apollo Sports.
Sadly cut short due to injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, although, right, Jory, he was just like, put it back in, put it back in. The ref was like, no.
Oh, ah,
That's
dude.
not how this works, mate. Now you got to go see a doctor.
Yeah.
He was like, no, we'll just crack on.
So when people watch this, you'll see me in the corner. I'm actually holding his arm because he threw his arm over the rope for me to put it back in, but he tried to walk back into the middle of the ring. So you see me kind
Catch
of
him
like,
up.
yeah. So you see me kind of like fucking shaking his arm to pull him back to me. Um, yeah, I think, look, that,
I just wanted more time on that fight, bro. It's so sad that it was cut short because they were both missing crazy shots by millimeters, bro. That fight could have ended at any moment.
yeah.
That needs to be run back, bro. That's not fair. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to me.
Marcus throwing his toys right out of the pram on this one.
Put him back in.
I agree. I do. Like, and I take my hat off to Ash. The first thing Ash said was, "We're running it back." First thing Jody said is, "I'm not getting back in the ring until I fight him." And
Yeah, to be fair, when I interviewed Ash and I obviously introduced him as a champion, as he is, he kind of like rolled his eyes and he was like, "Oh, well, sort of." Like he doesn't feel like he's took that win either.
yeah,
So you can see that they both definitely they wanna actually win. They both want to knock each other out, bro.
yeah,
And in a respectful way.
yeah,
They just want to prove who's more accurate and powerful, I think, and that is what makes it so entertaining because they are both very powerful and accurate.
yeah. The only thing that I seen that was fucking was one of those things. Was it was such as you said, because they were so respectful of each other. It was kind of like, oh, and then Ash was talking to you, Jory was talking to me, Jory was smiling. You can hear it in the repeat. I'm like, shut the fuck up talking to him and fucking fight him. I'm like, stop smiling at him.
I called for something. I can't remember what it was. I think I said something like, "Oh, I'd like to see an uppercut after that hook" or something like that. And I think Jory was like, "I'm setting it up." And he's like he's chatting to me while he's fighting.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like I'm a very vocal cornerman, and like Ash said to me, you throw like a loop in left, like a loop in hook, and then we knew what to look for. Like we knew that uppercut. Like he knocked somebody out in BKB with that uppercut. We knew what to look for, and I'm not gonna say that you could see it, but it was like, right, it's gonna come now, and I'm like, right, Jordy, that uppercut's coming. It's coming, and Ash is like, stop telling him it's coming. It's not now. Like you fucking, you know. The first 2 rounds were fuck all compared to what I think the other 3 would have brought. I think when they kind of got into their rhythm, we would have seen a bit more, you know.
Yeah, they were just starting to download that range and download the combinations, and I think the next round or the round after, somebody would have probably got put to sleep. And it's hard to know who. When you're in them little gloves and they're that fast and that powerful and that accurate, the shots that were thrown only missed by millimeters, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if they didn't have the head movement, what a fucking 50-50 match. What a perfect fight. Like, I need to see it again.
Well, one of the things that I really liked, and Jory won't care that I'm doing this, but we rewatched the fights in the gym, and Jory, obviously, like, when he rewatched it, he kind of like close to me, and when Ash done his interview, because obviously Jory didn't see the interview, and when he done the interview, and Ash was like, "Oh, I was kind of like toying with him for the first 2 rounds. I could see that he was gassing and all this." Jory turned to me, he's like, "Gassing? Is he fucking serious?" And you could see the fire kind of coming up, and I was, that's what I want. I want that fire back. But yeah, that is a fight that I'm really, really excited to look forward to, and you know, I'm really look forward to what's going to come with it. Now, there is one that we missed, and I do apologize because I didn't put it on our sheet, and that was Imran Khan from Tasakan versus Stefan Krakuin from TCA. Now, what a fight from Imran. Again, like, Imran took this fight, I think was 6 days notice or 5 days notice, and Lewis Armstrong, head coach of Tasakan, who was obviously your commentary partner and other commentator on the show, like,
I remember this fight. I believe the first round, Imran got lit up a little bit, no? And then I think rounds 2 and 3, he kind of just took over, I think.
Yeah, it was Beishin as well. And I think that, like, one of the points to talk about when is, if you take a fight on short notice, it's already hard. To take a fight on short notice against somebody who's experienced and you're going Beishin. I think it was Imran's first time going Beishin.
Yeah.
Like, because he fought Squirrel. Imran fought Squirrel on adrenaline. So, you know, fucking fair play. And you can see as well from Lewis Armstrong, like, that, you know, they're doing Imran, even though he took it on a week's notice, he turned up to fight. He was fit. He was fucking ready. He was, you know, he brought it. And then Stefan again, you know, like, change of opponent, doesn't matter about the change of opponent, just fight what's in front of you. And I think with Lewis has been on the show every time, like with Tasakan, he's already been there, and he is bringing out some of the guys that he's bringing out of that gym. You know?
Yeah, they're doing a good job right now, bro.
Yeah.
Like, Jai Yen and Tosakan are obviously working together. They've got a good relationship. Yeah, they're going to be producing some naughty boys over the months, I imagine.
That's what we want. Like, you know, we want to see that. We want to see fucking, like I said, with Lewis, as a head coach, you can see the composure again in the corner. You could see it he was so composed, and yeah, I'm excited to see what's next for them. And I'm very, very excited to see what's next for Imran. And with Stefan's the same. Like, Stefan is one fucking tough dude. Like, he turned up to fight, didn't really care about the name change. Fuck it, let's just go. I'm excited to see what's next for all of them.
Yeah, definitely same.
You know? So there's a couple of things, obviously, we've touched on all the fights now. Now, one of the things I want to touch on is yourself. So what was your final thoughts on the nights, and was there any biggest takeaways from it?
Definitely enjoy watching the 4-ounce gloves. I don't think I've seen too much of that at the Flow 2. Which one?
2, yeah. We had hybrid on the first one, and then I don't think we had any on the second.
Nah, so I've seen the little gloves before on the TV, obviously, and I've watched Korn fight, obviously. But I haven't really had, like, I've never, when I watch Corn fight, I'm trying to help him with IQ. I'm not enjoying the fight. I'm downloading information that I can give him in the corner. So yeah, it was nice to just sit and enjoy watching, and it's made me consider putting a pair on, But we can talk about that at another time.
We will certainly talk about that, Macauley. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Put me in them gloves, bro. Someone's going to sleep, man.
I love it. I love it. Now, so on that, it just come out that you've got a fight announced on. You come back. So on that, you have a fight that's just announced, has just come out. So you're fighting Tristan, who's the head coach of Giant Muay Thai on Stand Up War in April. So give us a bit of an introduction, like how's training and stuff going?
Yeah, bro, camp's in full swing, man. Like, I've got a nutritionist now. So I'm eating more than I've ever eaten in my life, and that's allowing me to train harder than I've ever trained in my life. Like, I do high rocks now as well, which is insane, bro. Like, my strength and conditioning is the best it's ever been. And the nutritionist is it's a game changer, bro. My energy levels are through the roof. Obviously, Stand Up War, it's going to be pro Muay Thai, April 12th. I'm obviously very excited to demonstrate some pro Muay Thai here in Wales, because every pro fight I've had has been in another country. I've done like pro K1, pro am K1. But I've never fought pro Thai here in the UK. So it's nice to give my friends and family a chance to come and watch me do what I love. Obviously, I fought Tristan before. We fought K1 before. Just edged a win against him. I got a split decision win. Very close fight then, and I imagine it's going to be a close fight this time as well. As I've said, Tristan, he's doing a great job at Giant. Those guys have good IQ and they train hard. So, I have good IQ and I train hard. So this is going to definitely be very entertaining. I won't say much more than that, I think.
That's fair, but that's fair. As I said, as soon as me and Liam, the matchmaker, seen it, we said, here we go. This is gonna be a fucking scrap, and especially two coaches going at it as well, and that's an exciting one for everybody. So just one thing is, you have changed your Instagram profile now, haven't you? So if you just let everybody know where the best way and the best place to follow you and contact you for any training and stuff.
Yes. So I have changed my Instagram name from Mackie Lowe. It is now My Mac. So you'll find me on Instagram under My Mac, and that Instagram page is purely going to be for my Muay Thai journey and my coaching, etc., for PTs, things like that. So please go give it a follow at My Mac on Instagram.
And obviously, as we said from the start, Mac is the striking coach at Olympus Martial Arts. And where are you based, Mac? So
Olympus is in Ammanford, literally just off the motorway. It's so easy to get to, just off the A48, I apologise. Really easy to get to. So anyone that's in that area, Llanelli, Ammanford, Carmarthen, Swansea, is 20 minutes from all of those locations. We're quite central to the area. So come on down to do some Muay Thai.
Awesome. Mark, I just want to say thanks very much again for jumping in and going through the Rampage recap with me. And I'll be honest, I can't wait for number 4. I just want to say thanks to all the sponsors. Thanks to Flow Fightwear, B.B Civils, Captured by Jazz, the FFC Show, which you're listening to now, for Fighting Homelessness, Forbidden Supplements, every single person that gets behind us to help. We appreciate it all. Punishment Fitness, we appreciate it all. So, Mark, have you got any shout outs you want to go just before we shoot off?
No, obviously, tickets will be on sale soon. So if you do want to come and watch Pro Muay Thai here in Wales, just drop me a message, grab a ticket, and come and see me fight on the next show. And if not, I'll see you all at Rhondda Rampage 4.